Hi, I'm Matt from PCGamesN, and I want to talk a little bit about Warhammer 40,000 games. You see, they've been failing you. Yes, Spacehawk meticulously recreates the rules of its tabletop counterpart, and Dawn of War captures the flame, fury and nihilism that make Space Marine so popular. But no 40k game has committed to the satire or sheer strangeness of the Warhammer universe, where hot pink noise marines find pleasure in the cacophony of battle, and tribes on backwater worlds offer up raw materials for wars they will never hear the outcome of. Warhammer 40,000 Mechanicus is different though, and that's what this video is all about. Mechanicus is a turn-based tactics game built on a fiction so weird it could sit in the dialogue boxes of an RPG like Torment Tides of Numenera. Playing as a tech priest of the Adeptus Mechanicus, you lead a force whose love for machines equals their fondness for Latin, raiding a Necron tomb world in a desperate bid for dangerous knowledge. But who are the Adeptus Mechanicus? While they've never graced video games before, they're one of 40k's most fascinating factions. They're known as the Cult of the Machine, which gives you a fairly accurate depiction of them. A legion of religious zealots who are so obsessed with the purity of technology that they've literally replaced some of their limbs with robotic alternatives.
Your kind cling to your flesh, as if it will not decay and fail you.
For the Imperium of Man, they're basically the equivalent of that guy in the office whose eccentricities are tolerated because nobody else knows how to fix computers. They don't even worship the God Emperor, which would be considered blasphemy anywhere else in the Imperium. Instead, they spend all their time fancying an embodiment of all their machinery instead. They're not quiet about it either. One of your advisors, Lector Dogmatis Videx, covers himself in tiny pieces of scripture from the Omnissiah, as if he's cut himself shaving. He's constantly scolding his comrades for their curiosity, and reminding them that ignorance of all things alien is a moral tenet of their faith. There is a chunky cast of characters in Mechanicus, and they aid in making the game feel like a true part of the Warhammer 40,000 lore, rather than just a video game dressed up in giant shoulder pads. Each tech priest is written akin to the literary characters of the Planescape universe, with unique tones and agendas. For instance, Tyus' thirst for knowledge of the Imperium's enemies, a stance that causes frequent arguments with Videx, who blindly believes that anything alien should be obliterated. As for Mechanicus' actual mechanics, it's a world away from many Warhammer 40,000 games. Typically we're put in command of Space Marines, 10 feet tall genetically perfect warriors in armour 3 inches thick. They're the ultimate power fantasy, but this time you're directing normal humans. Sure, they've got metal legs, arms and sometimes even faces, but they're far from indestructible. They die, a lot and quickly. Mechanicus is punishingly hard. It's an XCOM style game without cover, so there's no opportunity to hide. You have to outmaneuver your enemy, there's literally no other option. And, to make matters worse, you're fighting the Necrons, hulking robotic skeletons armed with guns that tear targets apart atom from atom. Some of them teleport around the map and pin you down with sniper fire. Some of them are giant metal spiders. Oh, and they can all self-repair too. This is the relentless grim darkness of Eternal War that 40k is all about. There's tons of evidence that developer Bulwark has designed the game with a very specific faction of Adeptus Mechanicus in mind too. Cognition points turn the knowledge you gain from strange pillars into literal brain power that you can spend on extra moves. And unless you take the time to study your enemy during battle, you're unable to know their weakness or even how much damage you're doing to them. A constant reminder that the Imperium has entered a new dark age. This is a game you simply couldn't reskin with Spacehawk's Terminators and still have work. It's taken a curious corner of the Warhammer 40,000 universe and constructed a game around it. That feels genuinely new, and it goes beyond punishing combat too. The longer you spend in a Necron tomb world, the more dangerous it gets, which is a great personification of the universe's looming darkness. There's also a recognition of fighting an enemy so impossibly strong that you need to do so while they're in slumber. If you can't complete Mechanicus in 30 missions, the time duration until the Necrons completely awaken, then it's game over. If this is the Warhammer 40,000 game you've been searching for, Mechanicus releases on November the 15th. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please offer praise to the Omnissiah by clicking both the like and subscribe buttons. But until next time, good luck, have fun, and embrace the purity of steel.